Hello everyone, this is Fahim from Tech Gaming Villa. This is another video about the two TV Samsung QN800A and the Samsung QN800B, which is mini LED 8K TV. An 8K TV may be overkill for some users, but for those looking for an 8K TV, Samsung is playing the 8K game very well. While 8K content isn't a thing just yet, the future of 8K content is coming. We wait, the Samsung QN800A will upscale your existing content to 8K when it can do so. The QN90A does the same for content that's under 4K, and both TVs do a great job of it. This Samsung QN800A first look will mirror my Samsung QN90A version because most of the features are identical. Where this TV differs is in 8K resolution and the sound offering. The Samsung's aesthetic TV designs have changed year over year in two major ways: bezel size and dimensions. More specifically, these TVs are getting thinner every time I see them. The QN90A was thin and the bezels really thin, and this Samsung QN800 is thinner even with the amazing speakers the company stuffed inside. It sounds like a broken record when I say that these new displays from Samsung look like they are floating in front of you. Of course, if you watch content that is widescreen and has black bars on top and bottom, the effect is less pronounced. But man, watching full screen content on this thing is like a borderless window. The Samsung QN800A uses Samsung's One Connect box, which has been redesigned and can now mount to the back of the TV stand. I opted to put the One Connect box in our entertainment stand. The new One Connect box is much larger than previous generations, but slimmer. It houses all your input-output connections and powers the TV all through one cable. So there is only one connection on the back of the TV. If you see this QN800A, the picture looks good. It uses HDR32X, which delivers an upgraded high dynamic range performance that further sets this TV apart from its competition. And I was blown away by the vivid colors and especially by the way that red pops in the screen. And this TV is also for gamers. It has 4K 120 Hz feature and the 8K content on YouTube. So this display full capabilities, it will be a while before 8K features film or stream 8K on Netflix. Currently, the standard features is upscaling 4K content. I'm impressed with this picture quality. On the other hand, if you see the QN800B, it is better TV. It's better than QN800A. This TV actually 4K 144 Hz. This QN800B, but QN800A is not 4K 144 Hz. It's able to show 4K 120 Hz. And QN800B is a good quality 8K Neo QLED TV with generally good picture quality for HDR and HDR content with plenty of useful features and a very good operating system and a smart TV system. It sounds decent thanks to OTS Plus, has a well-designed look and comes with the slimline One Connect box, which makes it ideal for wall mounting. Whether 8K is a good choice for TV in today's market is really only a question you can answer, and in our side-by-side testing, I'm pushed to see any real difference between 4K and 8K in resolution terms from this normal seating distance. There is also lack of Dolby Vision support as there is with all Samsung TVs, and it is very expensive at 3,500 euros at the time of 2022. The QN800B is also up against some serious OLED competition this year, including Samsung's own S95B QD OLED. And with such a crowded market, it may struggle to find an audience. So the good thing about QN800B is it's a mini LED backlight, good HDR peak brightness potential, very good calibrated color accuracy, decent out of the box filmmaker mode, slim One Connect box, OTS Plus sound, game bar feature, HDMI 2.1 inputs, and 9.8 millisecond input lag while gaming. And you can play 8K YouTube app also. And the thing you don't like, which is it's very expensive, and it has blooming, local dimming, dims, peak highlights, and APL, slight black crash as well, slightly dirty screen effect as well, no Dolby Vision, video processing adds too much sharpening, build quality average for the price, no perceivable resolution difference from normal seating distance versus 4K screen. So the Samsung QN800B is an 8K TV 2022 lineup, which is the flagship QN900B just below. and is available in screen sizes of 65, 75, and 85 inches. This QN800B is a TV that boasts a sleek design with perforated panel edges and one connect box and a solar powered remote control, making everything feel futuristic. The smart TV system is run by Tizen, and which is has been one of the best operating systems on the market for a while, with some new features and tweaks for this year. This is great selection of VOD and catch-up apps available. Gaming is also well catered for with 4 HDMI 2.1 ports at 48 GB per second, which supports 4K 120 Hz and 4K 144 Hz as well. As VRR, I mean variable refresh rate, auto low latency mode, EARC, AMD FreeSync Premium Pro, and a low input lag of 9.8 millisecond at 4K 60. There is also the game bar feature, which pops up with information on the frame rate, signal type, refresh rate, and more. The best preset on the QN800B is Filmmaker mode, which switches off all unwanted processing with accurate color and D65 white balance retained. It is one button press solution that has no video processing or motion interpolation applied, and it follows the industry standards for HDR and HDR content playback. The grayscale tracking is good with only 100% stimulus showing any error, and this is a result of the local dimming. Blue energy is a little low and red high, but nothing that is visible with TV and film content. The gamma tracking is a little too dark, and this does cause some crash within the lowest black levels, and the overall image is slightly dark as a result of the gamma being around 2.5. The calibration controls available within the menus to dial in some accuracy to the grayscale and color gamut for HDR. I managed to dial in some reference level results here, with the grayscale now tracking accurately as it should, with delta E errors all well under 2, which is below the threshold of 3. Gamma is now tracking better, especially in the shadows with no obvious crash now seen. But the brighter parts of the grayscale are still slightly dark when it comes to gamma. The Samsung QN800B in HDR Filmmaker mode, which aims to follow the PQ ST2084 standard with a D65 white point and DCI P3 color gamut within BT2020 out of the box. Playing to LED LCD strengths, I would expect this 8K Neo QLED set to produce accurate results with high peak brightness images. However, given the pixel density of the panel, brightness may be down compared to the flagship 4K QN95B. This QN800B is able to produce a peak brightness of 1420 nits on a standard 10% window, with a full 100% window measuring in at 542 nits. This is lower than the QN95B. This is due to the pixel density of the 8K and the backlight struggling to get enough light to match the 4K panel. I can also see with the lower results at 1% and 2% that the QN800B is also employing blooming suppression when it detects small bright highlights within a scene. The PQ tracking is poor in the Filmmaker mode, with over brightening of the standard in the midtones. This looks too bright with HDR10 content. That doesn't follow the standards that Filmmaker mode should for HDR. This was the same with different sizes of windows, and is not a result of the local dimming. It is the tone mapping employed by the set. The white color gamut results are also over brightened with 75% saturation points pushed too bright that they almost line up with the full 100% points. This is a real shame and blows away the advantage of using quantum dots for color volume depth, as the colors are pushed so hard for saturation by Samsung. A real shame here, and they need to correct this. I didn't have this problem with another TV QN95B, which used by my friend. So I have no idea why the QN800B is so out of line in here. The performance of this QN800B in terms of processing and picture quality should be similar in the larger 75 and 85 inch sizes, just like they recently have seen. The ultra-wide viewing angle anti-reflective screen, meaning that you can see it much farther off axis than with normal VA type panels and not suffer from as much gamma and color shifting. Plus, ambient light hitting the screen is reflected away, so it doesn't cause any major reflections that distract from your viewing experience. This does have a slight drawback in displaying a rainbow type trail with any light source hitting the screen directly, but this can be managed and prevented with careful positioning of the TV and light sources. As well as with LCD TVs, the panel uniformity can be inherent issue with the technology. Even using mini LEDs, and the QN800B does suffer from some slightly bright edges and darker center with most slides, as well as some visible clouding. Dirty screen effect is also seen within content with large areas of color and a moving camera, such as football pitches or skies. Blooming is also an issue, especially with HDR content, where bright objects can produce halo light blooming around them. When against black background or subtitles within a dark scene, there is a degree of blooming suppression used by the QN800B, and if a certain percentage of the screen is bright against a dark background, the APL is lowered and those highlights are dimmed slightly to stop any blooming from being obvious. It is more visible when viewing from the side of the screen or in the dark, but some was still seen in normal living room with ambient lighting with this sample. In side-by-side testing with the QN800A and QN800B, it looks almost similar, I will say. HDR looks good on the QN800B with strong blacks, natural and lifelike colors, and decent motion in the most accurate filmmaker mode. I did have a few instances where the local dimming was noticeably slow, or there was light blooming visible when watching in dim surroundings, but overall the QN800B can produce a nicely balanced HDR image with only a few small issues. Colors were bright but slightly oversaturated, which was also seen in the measured results, with some of the brightest colors on screen looking clipped. Again, this was very much content dependent, but I would like to see an update from Samsung to get filmmaker mode in HDR and HDR more accurate than it is out of the box. And finally, even though blooming suppression was used by the QN800B, so if you compare these two TV, definitely QN800B is a better TV. It has more contrast. It's a bit bright and crisp color and saturation. So what do you think? Which TV is better, QN800A or QN800B? Please write in the comments below. That's it from now. If you like this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications update. Thanks for watching.
To change your